Good morning. We are on board of the Peruvian Navy training township BEV Union, which this last June 17th set sail from her home port, Callao in Peru, more than 11,000 nautical miles away. Beginning the round the world international training deployment 2023-2024 called circumnavigation. The manning is 247, which includes 97 third-year midshipmen from the Peruvian Naval Academy and another 149 Navy sailors. BEV Union will sail the 7 seas during more than 10 months, visiting 20 ports, 14 countries in 5 continents. This is the first circumnavigation of the Union since its commissioning and the second one of the Peruvian Navy since 1856, 167 years ago. The sixth port of call was Singapore. Now, after 115 days of intense sailing, we've arrived and will stay 4 days until our departure on October 13. The commander and crew welcome Singapore's population, Navy and military family of Singapore's armed forces, and all visitors accredited by the Republic of Singapore Navy to visit the ship in the Changi Naval Base Wharf. We are very proud of the Peruvian Navy, country's emblematic afloat embassy, constructed 100% by Peruvians in Naval Shipyard Callao. Within our ship, you will find a very interesting exhibition room, reflecting Peru culture and maritime tradition. Welcome to the BEV Union, welcome to Peru. The Peru's ambassador in Singapore, Carlos Vázquez, and the captain, Jose Arce, commanding officer of the BEV Union, will answer any questions you have.
Yes. You hear me? Okay, well, it's a small room. Well, first of all, good morning and welcome aboard the BEV Union. It is an honor to have you with us today for this important occasion. It is the first time in over 150 years, like the Peruvian Navy has already mentioned, that a sailing Peruvian Navy vessel has passed through Singapore during a circumnavigation. The last such visit was by the frigate Amazonas. Singapore's status as the sole Southeast Asian port highlights the deepening relationship between our two nations. Our ties extend beyond diplomacy to trade, technology, and cultural exchange. And that is also the significance of the BEV Union. It is about cultural diplomacy, education and training, and strengthening our ties. Let me talk very briefly about each of them. The first aspect is culture. As the BEV Union sails across the world's oceans, it carries with it the essence of our nation, music, our art, and our culinary traditions. This vessel serves as a sailing embassy, offering a unique platform for cultural diplomacy. As part of our cultural diplomacy, we believe that this culture is a universal language, one that transcends borders and political differences. By sharing our culture, we contribute to building bridges of friendship and cooperation in a world that is increasingly interconnected, yet fraught with challenges. The role of cultural diplomacy in fostering global peace and mutual respect cannot be overstated. The BEV Union is proud to sail as a beacon of this important diplomatic endeavor. Another key dimension of the BEV Union's voyage is its educational mission. The ship functions as a hands-on training academy for future Peruvian naval officers, equipping them with essential skills in navigation, seamanship, and leadership. However, the educational scope extends beyond maritime training in every port, including Singapore. The crew engages in activities that deepen their understanding of the local culture and history. This is not merely an exercise in showcasing Peruvian culture. It's also an opportunity to learn from the communities we visit in Singapore. And by the way, my understanding is that some members of the crew of this ship are going to visit very emblematic cultural attractions and touristic attractions of Singapore, like Gardens by the Bay, the National Museum of Singapore, and the Museum of Asian Civilizations. So to have this sort of cultural exchange between Peru and Singapore. And lastly, the BEV Union's visits has a profound connection to international trade. A cornerstone of both Peruvian and Singaporean economies, both of our nations are committed members of APEC and the CPTPP, and we eagerly anticipate a forthcoming implementation of the free trade agreement between Singapore and the Pacific Islands. We have also expressed our formal interest in being part of the Digital Economy Partnership Agreement, DIPA. These linkages underscore our shared vision for a world that thrives on open trade and investment. This visit also serves as a reminder of the indispensable role that maritime routes play in global commerce. The world's oceans are the arteries of trade, and Singapore stands as a pivotal hub in this network. Ensuring the safety and security of these maritime pathways is crucial for the prosperity of our nations and the world at large. On a personal note, as I prepare to conclude my tenure in Singapore, just after the ship departs, one day after the ship departs, I think it encapsulates the multifaceted relationship between our two nations. It is a relationship that we hope to continue nurturing, built on shared values, mutual respect, and the endless possibilities that come from international cooperation. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, I am willing to answer. Thank you. Deliver some words or not? It's up to you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. It's been only 167 years since we were here. In 1856, our last ship to pull in this port was the frigate Amazon, and in order to celebrate and commemorate the bicentennial of the consolidation of our independence, we planned a circumnavigation of the world. So our Navy planned this to be executed for year 1821. We were celebrating. In 1821, we celebrate our independence. So in 2021, we were going to do the circumnavigation around the world. However, the pandemic has hit, and that was not executed. So 3 years later, we are executing it because in 1824, it was the consolidation of our independence back in our country. So we are starting the circumnavigation year 23 to end it up in 24 with the 200th anniversary of the consolidation of our independence. Our mission primarily is to train our midshipmen, and while doing so, we travel to different nations, different countries, and when we pull into port, we have the other very important mission that we have, that is to show the flag, to contribute to international relations, and bilateral relations between our country, like the ambassador said, with the ports we're in. So it's no coincidence that we're here. We're here for a reason. We're here because this is where our maritime interests are. We share the same Pacific Ocean, and we're on the other side of the Pacific. And no one nation can secure the seas by itself, and we all need the contribution of every nation in order to make the seas safe and secure and ensure freedom of navigation. So we're here in Singapore because it's our national Navy interest to be here. We'll be here for 4 days. This is our 6th port call. We'll already have 115 days of travel. We departed 17th of June. We went east with the winds, and sailing powered by the winds, and training the midshipmen in the soft abilities, which are teamwork, leadership, and working together in order order to control the uncontrollable forces of wind and current, and we teach them how to forge their behavior in order to be good managers and sailors. Our midshipmen are in their third year, so they already have some training, and before they go on their fourth and last year, that's when they come to the door, and they train differently. And we started 17 June, crossed the Atlantic through Tahiti, then Guam, then Tokyo to get to Asia. Then we went over to Busan, Shanghai, and now we're here. We'll be here for 4 days. We're departing on the 13th, and I hope those days go slow so we can enjoy this beautiful country that we're going in today. Our ship has an exhibition room. It's called Casa Peru, Peruvian House, that we are exhibiting our exportable goods, and of course our decks are open for any visitors that are willing to come visit the ship. So we appreciate very much that you make that announcement in media, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for the ambassador or myself, I'll be glad to ask.
Jafar from Indian Business Magazine and Indian Connect Magazine. May I ask, I'm not an expert on tall ships, except the size, is incredible for a tall ship, but can you maybe tell my readers what they're missing or what are the main unique things that is in the property of the ship that, if they go and visit at least during your stay or the next time you're in port, what are the inherent features that you think?
Say again, what's the question again?
What are the unique features or the things a visitor to your ship should look out for because it is really outstanding?
Well, the ship's unique. It's Peruvian. It's the latest tall ship built in the world to train midship. We're the newest in the neighborhood, and we've learned from a lot of other nations in building this kind of ships. And our Navy shipyard built this ship with the experience of seeing other nations having ships for many years. The ship is the largest in the Americas, is the newest in the world, and we have accommodations for 100 and so midship. We have 74 staterooms. We can accommodate 255 people, 255 sailors, 100 of them about our cadets, midshipmen, and usually we go by sail. So we have 4 masts, and the entire crew is divided in 4. So each sailor has a mast that they have to look at. We have 34 sails, and it takes a little while to bring them all up and be powered by winds. Of course, since we have an itinerary to meet, we cannot just go by the winds because sometimes the winds aren't there, and we use our only one engine and we go by power, but we try not to go by power. This is the captain's chamber. The captain's chamber has a lot of history. Our biggest hero is Admiral Grau, which is the gentleman back there. He is our biggest hero. As a matter of fact, in Lima, in our capital, the 8th of October, which is today for them, we are a day ahead. We celebrate the 202 anniversary of the creation of our Navy and the 144 immolation or death of our greatest admiral killed in action. So that was yesterday, but it's today for them. And in this chamber, you'll see a lot of history. You'll see Admiral Grau. You can see a pickups with one racing other tall ships. You can see in the windows the history of our Navy. It started with the Incas, go first the Spaniards, and then through the recent ships to here. So that ship over there behind the commander is the latest ship that visited Singapore. That's the Amazon frigate that visited in 1856, 167 years ago. The ship can go about a month with no logistics. Usually our longest legs are a month, so we took 27 days to Tahiti, 29 from Tahiti to Guam, and we don't need much really, just winds and food, of course. But the ship's very interesting. It has, as I said, 4 masts, 34 sails, 255 versus 74 staterooms, and you can smell and you can feel the Peruvian culture here throughout the ship. So I'll say, please come to see our exhibition room. Please come and meet our midshipmen. They are the tour guides, and they learn about Peru, and they are in their role of guides to the visitors.
Would visitors get a chance to see the rest, other parts of the ship?
Yes,
Oh.
yes. Any other questions?
I would like to confess that I have been very lucky because I received information 4 years ago regarding the project of this circumnavigation to celebrate the bicentennial of the Peruvian independence, like Captain has already said. Okay, like the Captain has already mentioned. That was going to happen in 2020 and 2021 because our independence officially was achieved in July 2021. But it was finally consolidated, like the Captain has already mentioned, after the Battle of Ayacucho in December 1824. So the process of independence in real terms lasted 3 years and a half, approximately. So we are in the time framework of that independence 200 years after that. But I received that information and I was very happy, of course, as you can imagine. But everything was cancelled because of the pandemic. The whole world was upended because of the pandemic. But I am going to leave Singapore in only 1 week. And thanks God, I have been able to receive that ship. Now, during my tenure here in Singapore, as part of a diplomatic program that we have developed in the last 3 years, with Singapore, I am completely convinced that the relations between Peru and Singapore have been reinforced in the last few years. We have signed very significant agreements, like agreement, for example, between Singapore Cooperation Enterprise and the Peruvian Agency for International Cooperation, that was in 2020, through a virtual ceremony, because everything went virtual during the pandemic, but we were still working on all these virtual platforms. And we have already signed last year a memorandum of understanding for cooperation on carbon credits with Singapore, and we are about to sign the implementation agreement for these carbon credits memorandum of understanding, perhaps by December this year. And we have, of course, signed with Singapore the free trade agreement within the Pacific Alliance and this country. And Singapore, because of that, is going to become the first associated state of the Pacific Alliance. So in the last few years, I think that we have really reinforced very quickly, in a very high speed rate, our links with Singapore. And finally, we are also partners in the Cmdte, that is one of the most ambitious trade agreements in the whole world. And very recently, Peru has declared its interest, officially its interest in joining the Digital Economy Partnership Agreement, DEPA. So, together with other countries such as Canada, Costa Rica, Korea, that is already been admitted as members of DEPA. So all these milestones reveal that we are in the right track, trying to reinforce our links with Singapore. You know, and this is the last milestone, you know, the arrival of this beautiful ship to Singapore.
Any other questions? No more questions. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.